you're all doing well and staying safe and healthy and happy. In this video, we are going to be talking about birds. First, a quick introduction on myself. Hi, my name is Nisha. I am currently a biology student at York University, and in the future, I would like to become a high school science teacher. Like I said before, we're going to talk about birds, and later on, we are going to be making our very own birdhouse here at home. So let's get started. First thing we're going to talk about are parts of birds. So what exactly defines a bird, and how can we separate birds from other animals? The first thing you might think of is that birds can fly, which is true. Many birds can fly, but not all birds can fly. Birds are vertebrate animals adapted for flight. So a vertebrate animal is any animal that has a backbone or a spine. So humans are vertebrates and so are birds. The body of a bird, or the structure of a bird's body, has evolved so that it favors their ability to fly. But not all birds can fly. For instance, penguins, their wings have evolved so that they can actually swim very well. Ostriches are the largest known birds, and they also can't fly, but they have very long legs to run really fast. Also over here, we have the smallest known bird, which is the 2-inch bee hummingbird. So the shape of a bird's body is important to its unique abilities, whether it can fly or not. Did you know that birds evolved from dinosaurs? That's right. Scientists have studied from the fossil record that birds evolved from dinosaurs. This fossil image right here is a fossil of a bird-like dinosaur known as an Archaeopteryx, and you can tell from the bone structure of this dinosaur that it had large wings. And this dinosaur is thought to be kind of a transition between a modern dinosaur evolving into a modern bird, which is pretty cool. Now we're going to look at the anatomy of birds, so more in depth on the structure of a bird's body, starting with its brain. A bird's brain is quite small relative to its body size, but birds have good balance, coordination, and a fast reaction time, and birds are known to have learning abilities. So parrots, for an example, can learn how to speak and do tricks and things like that. Birds have very efficient respiratory systems, so your respiratory systems and your lungs are important for breathing in oxygen from the air that we breathe and releasing carbon dioxide. And oxygen is really important for producing energy for our bodies. And birds use a great deal of energy, especially when it comes to doing tasks like flying. So birds have very good respiratory systems. With that, birds have really good hearts as well. A bird's heart is a 4-chambered muscle, just like humans. But a bird's heart is quite large compared to its body size, and that also makes sense because, again, the purpose of our heart is to pump blood to the rest of our body, and our blood carries oxygen and good nutrients that are responsible for producing energy for our bodies. And again, birds use a lot of energy. A bird's digestive system is a little different from other animals. For instance, birds have a crop, which is where they can store food to digest later. So maybe a bird could be quickly rummaging around, gathering food, and they might need to fly back to their nest, which is when they'll have dinner, and they can actually store their food, fly back to their nest, and then digest it then. Another fun fact is that birds have 2 stomachs, unlike humans who only have 1 stomach. Now we're going to talk about beaks and what relationship they have with food that they eat, because the shape of a bird's beak determines what type of food it eats. So looking at these images right here, we can start off with the bald eagle on the left-hand side with its strong, sharp, hooked beak, which is perfect for eating meat because an eagle is a carnivore or a meat eater. Comparing that to this little guy right here with a smaller, shorter, pointier beak, which is perfect for eating small seeds. And this blue feathered friend right here, who has a short, round, curved beak, which is perfect for munching on fruits and seeds. Now I want you guys to go ahead and guess what food each of these birds eat with these options. So your options are fish, nectar from flowers, and insects. So you can pause the video and take some time to think about it and then play it, and I'll tell you the answer. Alright, so our first friend right here feeds on insects with its short, straight, and thin beak. This bird feeds on fish, and seabirds are pretty interesting because how they catch their fish is they will dive into water, or at least skim the surface of water and take a gulp of water, and that'll contain fish, and they will eat it up later. And this hummingbird over here feeds on nectar with its long, thin beak, which is perfect for inserting into a small flower and drawing out the nectar from the flower. Now we're going to talk about how to identify birds, because not all birds can be identified by just the color of their feathers, because birds can have different colors but be of the same species. So how else can we identify birds? One way is by shape and size. So birds come in all different shapes and sizes, and you can look at a bird's leg height, bill shape, neck length, etc. You can look at a bird's behavior. So how does it behave? Does it like to be on the ground? Does it like to be in trees? Does it like to hang near water? Does it like to be alone? Have you seen this type of bird alone or with a flock or other birds like geese? You can look at a bird's habitat. So where is this type of bird usually located? In deserts, mountains, forests, near water, etc. You can look at a bird's voice as well. So birds have very distinct voices, and you can take note of the type of sound it makes to determine what type of bird it is. We can also differentiate between male and female birds pretty well. Generally speaking, male birds will have brighter and bolder colors, and they will be great singers. And these two traits are really important because males use both of these traits to attract females to start a family. And with that being said, females will have opposite traits, so they'll typically have plain colors, and they will be quieter, especially when they're nesting. So in both of these images right here, the male bird will be on the right-hand side, so this guy, and the female bird will be on the left-hand side, so this one and this one. Now, with all that knowledge on birds, you should be able to answer these questions right here. So how are birds different and similar to humans? How does the shape of a bird's beak relate to its function? And how can you identify a bird? All right, now to the fun part. We are going to go ahead and make our very own birdhouse at home. These are the materials that you're going to need. So everything bolded in yellow are the main materials that will be used, but you can substitute these materials for everything in black. So you'll need a milk carton, scissors, decorations for your birdhouse, a stick, and a string. Because this is a lab activity, we do have to take in consideration of our safety rules. So make sure you pause this video and read through these rules right here, because as scientists, we have to make sure that we're doing everything safely before we start on with our procedure. Also, take note that any instruction bolded in red, you're going to need the help of a grown-up or parent, so make sure you have a grown-up around to help you with it. All right, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your milk carton is rinsed out and dried. And if you're painting your milk carton, go ahead and do that and also let it sit and dry. So I got my milk carton right here, and I already painted it, and I rinsed it out, and it's dried and ready to go for the next step, which is, so we're going to cut a large rectangle or a large circle at the front of our milk carton. You can also do the shape in the image right here, which is kind of like a rectangle with a round top. So go ahead and do that. So once you've cut out your large hole in the front, we are going to cut a small hole below the large hole that we just cut out. This hole is going to be for a stick, so make sure you make it small enough for whatever size stick that you have. So go ahead and do that. Once you have that small hole, the next step is to insert your stick into that small hole. So grab your stick, put it in. The stick is going to act as kind of a branch for our bird to sit on if it wants to. So once you have your stick in, the next step is to cut 2 small holes on the side of your milk carton, and these holes should be a good length to put your string through. So go ahead and cut those holes now. So once you have your 2 small holes on the side, the next step is to insert your string in through one of the holes, and you can pull it out of the other hole. All right, the next step, go ahead and decorate your birdhouse however you'd like. So I just painted cute images on mine, but you can decorate it with whatever you have at home. You can also fill your birdhouse with any grass, small rocks, twigs, or you can fill it with bird food from your local pet store and make it into a bird feeder. Once you're done with all of that, you can go ahead and hang your birdhouse on a tree branch outside, and you're done. Take a look at your birdhouse here and there and write down any observations you see, such as how many birds have you seen visit your birdhouse? What time in the day have you seen these birds? How often do you see these birds? Describe the birds you have seen, so describe them by their color, shape, beak shape, or size, like we talked about. Take note of the type of noise that they make, or the type of sound that they make, sorry. And what are ways for you to improve your birdhouse? Maybe put your birdhouse in a different location so more birds can visit it, or maybe put some bird food in it, or maybe put other attractions on the outside of your birdhouse to attract birds. That's it for the video. I hope you learned a lot about birds, and I hope you enjoy your new birdhouse. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.